to show you how people reacted online about this whole thing, near catastrophic car chase. So let's start with this first. The mayor of New York. Let's take a listen.
I would find it hard to believe that there was a 2-hour high-speed chase. That would be, I find it hard to believe, but we will find out the exact duration of it. But if it's 10 minutes, a 10-minute chase is extremely dangerous in New York City.
Okay, so he was outright. It is hard to believe means it did not happen. 2 hours car chase. It's impossible in New York City. You have red lights, you have traffic, you have all kind of pedestrian walking in the street at night. You cannot have 2 hours non-stop driving in the city and say somebody was following you and there was this near catastrophe. Doesn't happen, doesn't add up. Let's take a listen at this next reaction. This is the most humiliating reaction, which I'll play at the very end. But let's see what Megyn Kelly has to say.
On the sidewalk to keep up with them, according to an unnamed source. Well, I look forward to seeing the actual video of that. Could have happened, but more than likely, that would be really tough to do in New York City's Times Square, which is where they were leaving from. And I'll tell you one other thing that doesn't check out about their story. There is no way of having a 2-hour car chase in New York City, in Manhattan. There just isn't. There are too many stop signs. There are too many red lights. There is too much foot traffic. There is too much actual traffic. And it's impossible to be in a car chase in this borough for 2 hours.
Okay, so this is what she has to say. Now let's take a listen at the next comment, reaction, whatever you call it.
And this clearly resonates with him so many years on. But as I say, there is a disagreement in terms of the versions of events and just how dangerous this paparazzi pursuit was.
Okay, so there is a disagreement. This is coming from who? This is coming from Sky News. They are saying this did not happen, or that the story doesn't add up, or that there are different versions of the story. Now this is by far the most humiliating comment reaction I found on the internet so far. Let's take a listen at this NYPD detective, how he reacted to this. I can tell you his reaction was I don't know if I should call it funny, but it is very, very humiliating and very, very damning for the brand of the Duchess of Sausages, because this guy, he just nailed it. He just nailed it. Let's take a listen at what he has to say next.
Investigation. So, Bo, welcome to the program. Let's begin the investigation. A 2-hour high-speed car chase on Manhattan. How likely, in your view?
Look.
May I use the English term rubbish? Because I think this is total rubbish. And last night, matter of fact, I was doing for Disney. I did all the security at the convention.
He was point blank rubbish. Okay, did not happen. He is, again, a New York NYPD. He's an NYPD detective. And this is how he reacted. The mayor said the same, almost exactly the same thing. 10 minutes, even 10 minutes car chase in New York City is very, very dangerous, let alone 2 hours. It doesn't happen. What is going to happen next? What we will hope from Megyn Harry? Well, something more, even more dramatic. Near, what they call it, apocalyptic. All right, this is what will happen next. It is going to be an apocalypse next time you see them coming up with another drama. It will be an apocalyptic scale. This is what they want to do, because you see the reason for that is because they really need to hit hard in our head, in our mind, in order for us to give them any credibility or any attention or any sympathy to believe their story. They really needed that shock for us. Well, it did not happen. This is why I said in the title, it backfired big time. They tried to make up this whole story. I do not know who came up with this story, but definitely Megyn herself, most likely the person. It did not work. It is backfiring. Everybody's saying the exact same thing. It didn't happen. They had to really shock the whole world by claiming something so outrageous and so, the whole thing, they orchestrated. It blew up on their faces. It doesn't make sense from any angle. It is not just about that they lied in the past about paparazzi chasing them. If you remember the Netflix docuseries, when it was released, it released a trailer. In that trailer, they said there was a paparazzi following us. And later on, we found out that there was nobody behind them. So they made up that story in the past, and they are doing it again. So looking back at their past behavior, you might say, well, yeah, that was, a clear evidence that yes, these duplicitous do, they can lie. But it is not just about their lies. It is also about things they cannot do without failures. Like the memoir was a big failure. The docuseries was a big failure. And when I say big failure, I don't mean that they did not make them enough money. I'm all for it. A lot of people, they bought the book, they watched the docuseries, but at the same time, the more they know about them, the more they know who they really are, and that is that these are scammers, okay, and they're being exposed. So it is not that they tried to do something. It is also that look at the level of failure. They failed even in this New York city car chase. This stunt failed big time. What's next? What they're gonna do next? Everything will fail. So the point here is that really that these people, these duplicitous duo, they're doing it every single time. They are being very, very consistent in terms of trying, and they are very, very consistent in terms of failing and getting backfired for everything that they're trying to pull off. Nothing is working for them whatsoever. I mean, I played just few videos, right? I didn't even play a lot of it. And what looks like to me is that the cab driver, I mean, can you believe this? You were chased and then you took a cab and you think that you are safe in that cab, not in your car, the one you bought with so much money. And then you had the time to switch between your car and the cab, and that at that time nobody chased you, and that at that time you felt safe. I mean, come on. So the cab driver, he himself, according to one report, it said he himself, this guy, I think his name is Singh or something, he himself said that it was not as they described, near catastrophic. Did not happen. It was not like that of a big deal, according to many reports. So why they are doing this, Meg and Harry? Well, because narcissist people, they are obsessed with themselves. They want the whole world to just remember about them. They are now even willing to wipe out the memory of Princess Diana, who died actually. Was a very bad tragedy, but they want to kind of make us forget about that and remember about Meghan and Harry. Every time there is a tragedy, car crash of a celebrity level, they want you and me to forget about Diana and think about them. This is exactly what they're trying to accomplish. I mean, Harry never loved his mother. It is just something that he used in order to monetize his victimhood. And this is going to go on for a very long time. I have many comments here. Lisa, thank you, DRBW Cherry, for the donation. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. For the super chat, I have Goody, I have Lisa, and Samuel, Lali, Chris. Thank you guys, everybody, for joining in. I'll see you in the next one. Have a wonderful day. And leave your comment. I'll respond to your comment in the comments.